August 29th, 2018. We're on Yang Day number 2, but this one is with a twist. I'm Chris McCleary with your daily CIRF report. CIRF report is a collective influence report and forecast. It's forecasting just for today because the dreams are cyclic and the dreams tend to show us what the influence is. And we combine the astrology with the dreams and we throw in numerology. So let's go ahead and get started. We're looking for the biggest influence. Here's numerology's take on it. It's not a day for rushing into anything or for taking things at face value. People might not be as honest as they could be. Doesn't mean they're intentionally malicious. They may just be a bit deluded. So what do we take away from this is that there's something going on underneath. It's don't take anything for face value, okay? Couch that for a while. I'm going to put this all together here in a second. In the astrology, we still have Moon in Aries. We have Moon trining Mercury in Leo, so there's a lot of fire. That's very early on in the day. That's going to transit out of that trine. But it's, at least early in the day, you've got extra energy to express, extra desire to express. You've got that fire and that yang, and it's expressing in some way, shape, or form. Okay, and we got the grand earth trine still. That's going to be a factor. I'm surprised that very few people are still talking about that, but it's still there. And so let's look at the dreams, because I'm going to come back to the astrology here to bring it all together. So the yang side of things, remember Mars is direct now. So we have monster in the blue arrows, monsters, animals, rights, shows, royal running means huge crown sharing. Why did I include royal? Well, royal crown together is like a royalty. Royal is king. I'm the king of my empire. King of my reality. That's very yang. And then the other words, well, running is the same as yesterday, and huge. It's about expressing. So shows, the word show, and means. I have the means too. And then, well, I have to slide down here so you can see it. This word here, means, is a double word or double meaning. There's no pun intended. But there's a way to do things. That's the means. Do you have the means to get it done? And then what does it mean? And that's exactly what we are looking at from the numerology. What does it mean? What's the underlying meaning? What do they mean? And, we have the desire to express from the trine. And I'm going to show you now the other aspect that people are talking about that is going to explain the red arrow that I have over there in the DreamBot. It's the Mercury Quincunx Pluto. And in this one, we do become a little bit more suspectful. We do become we pay a little bit more attention to the activities that we do and to the people, and we try to figure out a little bit of what they really mean, what the underlying message really is, what their intentions are. And here's the problem. We don't get answers. And so in general, I'll talk about how to put this all together here in a second. But the word that kicked me off into this, had me exploring this, is death cloud in the DreamBot. Death cloud is ominous, obviously, but when I look in the astrology for signs of any death, I'm looking for Pluto. It's almost like a direct correlation. It's either that or Uranus. Uranus is more chaos and ending, but Pluto and Uranus are about ending things and restarting new things. Pluto being more of the death planet. Okay? So, now that we know what the influence is, let's talk about how to actually surf it next. And if you like this concept, please subscribe and you're going to get the daily updates. And the advantage there is that you're going to get to know what the main collective influence is You know, you can sift through all this astrology, and you know, a lot of us get a little confused at all these different aspects, and some of them are contradicting each other. I like the DreamBot and triangulating, because the collective mind shows us how it's being affected and which astrological influence to pay attention to the most, and which one is the most significant. Because where the mind goes, even on an individual basis, especially in a group basis, where that mind is, whether or not it's the group mind or the individual mind, behaviors will follow. And so we can predict the future. So with the death cloud, or with the quincunx between Mercury and Pluto, how do we orchestrate that? And in this scenario, we are a little bit more suspectful. We have a lot of the yang energy from yesterday. It's still there today with Mars direct and the moon in Aries. And then we even have the little remnants of that trine with Mercury. So we are feeling like going out and do. You are afforded a lot of extra, maybe not extra energy, but extra willpower to get things done. Notice myself working through obstacles yesterday. It seems like when we have that extra energy, the obstacles appear. So magic how that happens. But in this case, we're probably going to pay attention a little bit more, just naturally. I'm not asking you to be more attentive or pay more attention, or try to figure out what the meaning is on everyone's speech and communication. I think it's just going to happen naturally. I think we're going to naturally be inclined to be more suspectful and paying more attention, but we're not going to get a lot of answers. And so I would ask you to not focus in on this confusion that might result from this. Like, what are they thinking? What is their true intention? I'd say just do your work and really purposely, consciously focus on what the goal of this particular activity is. And the other thing that's going to be coming up is the unconscious remembering of past results of your behavior. So if you're doing an activity and maybe you're building Legos and you put it a certain way and it all fell down, unconsciously, according to this Mercury Quincunx Pluto, you're going to remember the tumbling down, but not remember much about how it came about. So you're going to be a lot more careful putting your Legos up. Okay, that's kind of what I mean. And what I would like to focus in on is the actual goal. What is it that, instead of focusing on the fear and the confusing fear that you have, focus in on what the objective of the activity is. Okay, if it's with people, then and you start noticing yourself becoming really suspectful and maybe even of yourself, then look at the fruits. The behaviors will tell you what the intentions are. And so relax into it. Relax into your doing. Go out and do, but focus on the goal. That's plain and simple. Thank you for your likes and shares. I appreciate all your support. And let's do this. Let's do this again tomorrow and see what the collective influence is for the National Dream Center. Healing the collective psyche, one mind at a time. Thanks again.